Welcome to Test Your Might, the video game debate show. This is episode 70, and we've got a lot coming at you today. Number one, we're going to talk about Xbox free-to-play ads coming to their games and in the free-to-play games. And then we're going to discuss a Superman video game idea. Maybe someone will win me over. I've got one in mind, and hopefully you guys use it. And then we want to talk about our games that we would love to see remade, not remastered, but remade on Unreal Engine 5. But first, let me go ahead and introduce the panel. We've got none other than the Mafia Lord himself over here. How are you doing today, Cicero?
I am doing well. Justin, do me a favor and say hi to your mother for me.
Haha, joke's on you, because it's Easter when we're recording this, and I did already today say hello for you. She knows you now, so she didn't say, like, what's in Cicero? Other than that, we've got Sean back on the panel. How you doing, Sean?
Hi, I'm doing great. It's like my fourth day of a weekend, so I'm very rested.
Yeah. That's a good time to be podcasting, just relaxing.
Yeah.
It might be the last day of the weekend as well, though.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Go out with a bang, right?
We're catching the end of that candle.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll be fine.
We'll
blow it up. It'll blow up. It's actually a stick of dynamite. We're going at it. If you like what you hear, leave us a review on any of the podcatchers of choice. Spotify rating on mobile only. That's the star program. Go ahead and give us 5 stars or 3 stars or whatever you think we deserve. Let us know how we're doing. And if you're watching our pretty faces on YouTube, best way to watch and participate with us, go ahead and comment, subscribe, click the likes, hit the bells. Let us know how we're doing. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with a little bit of housekeeping. Just a few things. Number one, if you have been listening over the past few weeks, we do have big things coming soon to the channel and this podcast family. Also, a Sonic 2 review is going to be out. Should be out on Friday, the 22nd. Lots of 2s for you to throw up, Cicero. And then let's do a Halo check. Have you guys watched the new episode 4? That's 2-2.
Episode 4 of Halo, yes. Yes.
All right. So how about you, Sean? Have you been keeping up with Halo or no?
I haven't Haloed at all.
All right. We'll keep it short this time.
Oh no.
Well, I do know some things because I've been on the internet, but
Oh no.
Where's that from? I've never heard that.
Right.
No. All right. Cicero, take the reins. Give us your rundown. How do you like episode 4? We'll just leave it with you giving a quick review rundown today.
So this was probably the episode I like the least so far in the 4 episodes that we've gotten. I feel like we're too many of our characters have diverged, and some of the characters, specifically Quan, has taken herself and Saren not necessarily off the board, but they've taken this detour that really doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, and they spent way too much time with that story and having Quan do some really unsavory things, I guess would be the best way to say it, and it really took away from the episode. I think that there were seeds planted in that episode that can bear some really great fruit going forward narratively. So I would love to see that happen. I know that from a lot of the community, one thing that is a common refrain is that there doesn't seem to be enough action, from this action video game series. So there wasn't a lot. There definitely wasn't a lot. There was a little bit. There was a gunfight in this episode, but there wasn't big Halo action.
Yeah, we kind of have had a dry spell of Halo action since the first episode. I do agree with you. There is a lot of different little seeds that have been planted, and we're all like, that would be cool, go for it. But then they kind of diverge and go to a different side story kind of thing.
Right.
It's worrisome, but I have hope. And
yes.
I think they're reaching, and they're going to do a good job with it. So,
I see what you did there.
Oh, yeah.
They're reaching.
All right, let's go into what have you guys been playing. Sean, go ahead. What have you been playing lately?
I've been playing just a little bit of things. I'm still Elden Ringing. like it's a job. I've been playing. I dipped last time I was on. I was talking about how I just started Norco. I think I'm about like halfway through that now. It's still pretty cool. Or like really well done point and click adventure. You're like going back home. You like are a person who left home living in Louisiana, and like came back because your mom died, and you're kind of like figuring out one, where's your brother, and two, there's like a back and forth about like, hey, what was your mom doing leading up to when she was dying? There's some like AI stuff
kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a mystery thing happening with a cool like sci-fi elements and just like living in the South in like cool ways that I'm unfamiliar with because like a lot of media doesn't do that, and especially not me living up in Illinois forever. So yeah.
Anything else, or just Narco and then Elden?
There's Destiny. I played some PvP. That doesn't happen normally. Wow. I had a decent time. It definitely doesn't happen normally this week. So
there we go.
Woohoo!
All right, Cicero, how about
be
you?
A gamer someday.
Yeah, nothing terribly new. Last week I talked about my the new game that I'd been playing, which is the resolution mode of Tiny Tina's Wonderland, as opposed to the performance mode. And I'm still playing a little bit of that. My friends have kind of scattered to the wind. I love playing these games socially. So like right now I'm playing it, but I don't really have any friends to play it. So like I only go in and I dip around, do a mission or two, and then I jump out because it's not as much fun without my friends. So I think I'm like level 30 out of 40. I still have lots of stuff that I can still do in the game, and I haven't gotten to the end game content yet. Simply because waiting for other people to play. So if you guys are listening and you have Tiny Tina's, you want to play with me, I am Stubby Stan. You can find me. Shoot me if I'm on and you see me. Send me an invite. Let's play some Tiny Tina's. And then outside of that, I'm just playing more sports ball. A little bit of 2K, a little bit of Madden. Into another season of Madden with my boy, and actually I was playing a little bit of NHL hockey, the hockey club thing. So you get in there with your buddies and you have a team and you play other people with their buddies who have a team, and
that's when you fill every position, right? I think
you don't have to fill every position. You can. I mean, it could be as few as one person. Maybe it has to be two. But we've done 3 players versus it can be up to 6. But usually they match them, and nobody wants to play goalie online. So
NHL was one of the only sports games I used to play all the time.
Yeah, those games they're a lot of fun. It's almost it almost seems like magic that it still works, and it works well. Being able to play that way. And like if you really train hard with your friends, you could be super good. Playing that. So, and we don't. So we lose, but it's still fun.
Well, that's not the worst. You could always get better. Pick yourself back up. As for myself, I've been playing a little game that came out. I talked about it last time. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Haven't put it down. Continuing to grind my way through. Currently, as of this recording, right before this recording, I checked my stats, and I am 74% done with everything in the game, collectibles and everything, just over 48 hours. So,
whoa,
yeah. So, okay. A lot of time is pausing and going to deal with Isabel or whatever if she's not in the room. You know what I mean? Gotta get away sometimes. Other than that, I did hear about, I think you'll be excited about this, a new DLC coming out for No Man's Sky, or out already, called Outlaws.
Yes, I did.
Pirates in Space?
Yes.
Whoa, this sounds good. And I'm glad I got back into it right before Lego, so I'm definitely going to try that. You can get squads and go on adventures and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be good. All right, let's get into the news.
All right.
So starting off with... free-to-play Xbox games could begin to start having advertisements third quarter this year. How do you feel about it? Sean, go ahead.
I just don't like how advertisements seep in everything. I think a lot of people are in that. But we'll see. I don't know. Like, I don't know who's gonna do it. Like, it's up to developers, so it's kind of like whoever wants to do it. I mean, there's been advertisements of games before. It just depends on how they do it. I can't imagine they're gonna like. The funniest thing they could do is like insert them during load screens that just don't exist and therefore make them have to exist again. But they're certainly never going to do that because that's like the one thing people would actually get mad about.
Yeah, it's really odd. I'm thinking like, open world games have TVs on the walls or something that have an ad playing while you play, and you don't have to sit there and watch it, but they are in the game. But free to play games are more wait load time. So what do you think, Cicero? You think it's going to be during the gameplay or actually just during the menus?
Well, I think it could be both, right? So NBA 2K a few years back, maybe 14, 15 or something like that, during during their load screens in between the game, they had unskippable ads every now and then, like an ad from State Farm or something like that as the game is loading.
Yeah.
But then I remember also Rainbow Six Vegas 2 maybe had they had ads for Comcast in the game and they had they had billboards in the game that they would populate with real world ads. So those were in the game, and and some people cried about it, but at the same time they were completely unobtrusive and actually added to the immersion because these were these were ads for real companies that you knew. So it made you feel like you were existing in a very real world. If the ads are like that, right? If they're on a TV in an open world where the ad is there and you can watch it if you want or you can leave. If they're unobtrusive or just kind of out of the way, then it's not that big of a deal. But if they're bringing back load times so that they can have unskippable ads, just so that they have this way of generating extra income, that kind of sucks. What I do think that this opens the door for, more than just the ad itself, is for the same way that you see on your phones, the option for a premium version that's ad free, right? You pay a few bucks, 10, 20, 25 bucks. You get the ad free version, and it gives you, that gives you access to lots of different things. And it also leads to them providing whatever the in-game currency is, bonuses for that in-game currency if you decide to watch an ad, right?
Yeah.
So like all of the things that we see on our phones right now, on those free-to-play games, can now come to the console model.
Yeah.
I just thought of one extension. When you said you could pay for the premium to get over the types of games you were talking about earlier, I can just imagine it like season pass version of don't watch ads this season.
Yep. There you go.
One of the first things I said to Mike was it's probably going to be like a $5 skip, free to skip every ad. These are free to play games, which are already usually big money makers. Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty. It's like putting that in there is just an extra. Here's another $10 towards us to stop these ads, or if people are stingy, they don't want to pay for it, they don't have to. Just like mobile phone games.
Yeah,
it's very similar.
I think like you said, with like a game like Fortnite, I can easily see an ad going in after you've selected your character and you're readied up, and you're waiting to get into a lobby. Right? They're matchmaking you. They'll throw an ad in there, and that ad will finish before you're taken from point A to wherever the match-made lobby is.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. Interesting, weird, but something. Witcher 3, the next gen delay, and Cyberpunk DLC also. They're saying early 2023, so not too long of a delay, but it's CD Projekt Red. What do you think, Cicero?
I don't believe any of these dates. This is they're like, we're kind of coming out of COVID right now, so maybe they have resources in the same location working together as they did in the before times. But nope, 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 nope. We're if we see it in 2023 at all, I'd be surprised.
Same with
Either
you,
of those things.
same Sean, or different thoughts?
Exact same.
Okay. Yeah, it's CD Projekt Red. They're known for delaying things. I see The Witcher 3 coming way sooner than the Cyberpunk.
Is it The Witcher
DLC.
3 or The Witcher 4?
It's The Witcher 3 next gen upgrade. So it's for the Xbox Series X and the PS4.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I definitely
Maybe
see that coming sooner than the Cyberpunk DLC. I'm very keen and I'm used to seeing that yellow font post note from Cyberpunk saying, "Oh, we're delaying you." So I'm already ready to see that. So, yeah.
But if it happens, it won't hurt. It won't hurt though.
Oh no, the game's definitely up there. It's sold a lot of copies.
Yeah.
And they fixed it, so that's good.
When it's ready, it's ready.
Yeah. You guys ready for the namesake of the show? Test. Oh no.
Are you getting extra
Bringing
protection?
the heat. He's bringing the extra padding. Oh, he's got seat. He's ready. In the hood we go. And Test Your Might has started. Off to start here. Bandai Namco is reportedly working on a remaster of a 3D action Nintendo video game. What game should it be? And why is it better than your opponents? Cicero, you got the power a lot last session and you won. I'm going to throw it over to Sean this time, being the guest. Go ahead, Sean.
We're going to go with Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Okay.
That's the game. It needs to be redone. If Nintendo's going to do any other stuff, it's got to be that. It's a great game. A lot of people haven't played because no one plays the handheld Zeldas.
Okay.
But here we go.
All right, Cicero, what you got against Phantom Hourglass?
This will be a Dragon Ball game. It is whatever Dragon Ball game was on the Nintendo 64. What wasn't there a Dragon Ball? There was a Dragon Ball game on Nintendo 64, so it's that's the one.
I can't give you anything. You have to look it up yourself.
All right. Well, no. Oh, no. I take that back. It's gonna be like Dragon Ball Tenkaichi from Nintendo Switch.
Okay. All right. Back over to you, Sean. Why is Phantom Hourglass beating Dragon Ball?
One, it's actually an action game, so it fits the criteria of the rumor. It's not a fighting game. Two, it is better because, again, Phantom Hourglass is just one of the better games there are. People might balk at the idea that it's like, oh, it's a Nintendo first party going somewhere, but other people have done it before where they've kind of lent out a game that's already been done once to someone else to refreshen it. And I'm just gonna keep on Phantom Hourglass. Like, I had a lot of good times with the Tenkaichi series, but I think it said all it can say. I don't think a new next-gen remake of it's going to do anything different or add anything to the conversation. Whereas with Phantom Hourglass, there's a lot, even just with like exposing to a brand new audience of stuff that don't have an equivalent like people do with Fighter Z, let's say.
Cicero, rebuttal.
Yeah, well, so I mean, what they can do with Tenkaichi is work on the systems, right? So it looked great, right? It looked great for the time. It can look even better now, but also they can work on the controls so that the controls make more sense now. And yes, it is a fighting game, but it's an action fighting game. And so there's all of these extra elements that they can add to the game. And the difference between the game that I've chosen and the game that you've chosen is this game was already published by Bandai Namco, as opposed to a Nintendo first-party game that's published by Nintendo.
Okay. I've played both of these games. Sean, go ahead and go for the Phantom or fight again.
Yeah. I think we dream big here, you know. So I think saying that that it's a kind of a stretch for Nintendo to let it go isn't something that, you know, usually holds water, especially with our friend Justin. Which I don't need to tell him that. But I mean, Justin, now that I know you have played Phantom Hourglass, I'm glad we have this because, you know, I just said a lot of people didn't do it. And I think one more thing of that is that if we're going from like for future endeavors, it unlocks Phantom Hourglass also has a sequel, Spirit Tracks, and it also will build an interest in the rest of the handheld Zelda series that then Nintendo could do whatever they want with. They love re-releasing stuff. This is an opportunity to keep doing it.
All right, Cicero, one last swing. Or
Nintendo loves their IP. They will not let someone else use their IP and potentially mess it up. To mess up the goodwill their IP have. So they will not give it over to Bandai Namco. But you know what? Like, Bandai Namco makes like 3 types of games. They make JRPGs, they make like museum games featuring Pac-Man, and they make Dragon Ball games. So if you're telling me that they're going to have a game that was on Nintendo that is going to get some, like, you know, remaster love, it's got to be a Dragon Ball game. Duh.
All right, I'm going to give Sean one more chance to rebuttal because that was a pretty big swing over there for the Nintendo franchise. Go ahead. I want to see how you defend yourself against the first-party software.
I mean, Nintendo's let out they've even let out Zelda before, but they've let out Pokemon. They've let out, well, I forgot everything else, but they've let out Pokemon to a bunch of different things. They made a, like, Fire Emblem crossover.
Pokemon. They don't own Pokemon.
They've let out Zelda itself with Crypto Necrodancer. And that was a pretty solid swing at it. I don't know how well it did critically, but they did it and they let it go and they made some changes, but they already showed that they can trust other people. Why not do it again?
Yeah, but there was no sequels to that game.
It hasn't been that long.
Well, Mario plus Rabbids got a sequel.
I'm pretty sure that was a longer time frame than it's been since Hyrule Warriors came out, or not Hyrule Warriors, but Cadence of Hyrule came out. There's still time.
All right, I think I'm going to call it. Good fights. It was very hard, and it's really hard for me to decide this because I did like Spirit Tracks and I did like Phantom very much. I played most of the handheld Zelda in general. And also, as goes for Dragon Ball, I never watched the show, but I played the games. So that's where it got me. I do think that I'm going to have to give it to Cicero on this one, unfortunately, because coming from Bandai, I feel like they would be able to handle something they know well. And going into Phantom Hourglass, that is a very complex Zelda game for them to just start off the bat with. I think they should go maybe do an old school one first, which I'm down for. I'm down for any Zelda, let's be honest. Cicero wins first round. On to the second fight. We've got developers revealing Superman-like builds in Unreal Engine 5. So I want you guys to pitch me a game based around Superman and how they will successfully include the red blue blur, aka Superman. And there's some hints on my shirt if you want to pick a game of preference. I'll just put this in frame. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Sean again first this time.
All right.
Okay, sure, yeah, I don't need your hint. I heard this and I thought of, and I'm going to make a swing that hopefully someone knows again. Have either of you seen Millennium Actress, the movie? It's an anime movie.
No.
Okay, so this movie is two interviewers go to interview an actress who's like 70 now, but she basically started acting when she was like in her teens. And they go to interview her and then about her life and like why she quit acting, what she's been doing since then. The cool part of the movie that I want to use here is that when they are doing the interview, the way that the movie is actually showing it is it's like showing you back in time when she's making these decisions, but the interviewers are there, like in the scenes in the past, just kind of like seeing it and like having to like dodge the things. And sometimes they like actually go in. One of them, the lead interviewer, sometimes like goes into the roles of like someone that's like playing across from her or someone in her real life. And I think that would be a sweet way to address Superman and all that he represents without having to muddy messaging about who Superman is and deal with overpowerness by posing somebody as an action adventure person, like going through a history or an event of Superman doing things and them navigating the city or doing some kind of investigation and or doing some investigation of like what's happening, getting to choose what part of the events they're focusing on. Like, is it Superman actually doing the fighting? Is it seeing like what the collateral damage is and how Superman has saved people from doing that, and thought ahead for those sort of things, and having a good way where like you don't have to worry about Superman being too overpowerful and it's being boring for the player because Superman gets to go Superman. You get to see him doing a lot of cool things. He's being the hope and inspiration and the great optimism that everyone gets to see. You don't get to tarnish that, and you also get a cool action platforming game where there's plenty of Superman in it.
What would be the title for that?
You were saving that for rebuttal, you know.
All right, they saving it.
We gotta keep a little bit of mystery.
All right, little bit
Cicero.
of mystery.
All right, but,
Yeah.
but you've got the movie element of seeing it done, kind of like acting wise, but it's the real Superman doing it, and you're playing as him. Go ahead, Cicero. What do you got?
Justin, you mentioned the red blue blur, and so I'm going to tell you about what the Superman game will be. It will be the story of the red blue blur, aka Clark Kent, aka Smallville's own. This game will take place in the world of Smallville, of the CW television show of Smallville, where he has crash landed. Clark Kent has crash landed in Smallville, but there's lots of remnants of his planet, the Kryptonite, has crash landed in Smallville, and he is learning his powers as you go along in the game. So you will get super speed. You'll start out pretty strong and pretty invulnerable, but you'll develop super speed, you'll develop your heat vision, but these are things that you'll get as the game progresses, as you learn them, but you won't have them perfected. So your super speed can be like a meter that you can like overshoot something if you don't do you don't have the meter right. Like if you overshoot the meter, you overshoot where you're trying to rescue someone and you don't, they can get hurt or something like that. You can use your heat vision, but you're, you don't have it under control. So you could start a fire, you could do lots of damage. So all of those things are being honed in. So it's not just about being all powerful. It's about being all powerful and being in control of that. And that's going to be part of the game. Part of the game is like not only harnessing the power of who will become Superman, but knowing how to control that and still live amongst humans without hurting the people that you love and the people that you're sworn to protect. And that's going to be the balance between the game as we play in Smallville. And because you're in Smallville with lots of kryptonite, there will be plenty of things and creatures that will be there that can challenge your super strength.
Okay. From great power comes great responsibility.
correct?
Over to you, Sean. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Superman, What It Takes to Be the Man of Tomorrow. There was a little bit when you were recapping it. I think I just want to restate what's happening. You are not playing Superman in my game. Superman is existing and doing his thing, and you might be interacting with him, most likely. But you are going to be a third party, maybe some kind of journalist, because that's how you're taking away, like, because if you were playing Superman, then all the things I've been saying about, like, you would have to deal with you would have to deal with power meters and trying to deal with collateral damage and stuff in a way that that's kind of cynicism, and like that kind of holding back is not what Superman's about. So that's why we're having Superman doing his thing. He's going and being a great hero, and we're out here exploring the world that he is creating with his goodness. And then the action platform comes from when Superman's active, things are going down in the city, and wherever he is. So you're gonna have to, like, the action platform comes from dealing with that and navigating the city while this stuff is happening and choosing where you're gonna focus your time, like I was saying before. But I think the core to this is you're having a fun gameplay experience, but you're doing a thing that you're accomplishing something that a lot of times when people adapt Superman, they get wrong, which is like convoluting what he is.
Okay. Cicero, why is yours better than Sean's? And also titles for both.
Yeah, so he gave you his title. It was pretty long. What was it, Sean?
Superman, What It Takes to Be the Man of Tomorrow, which is a reference to what happened to the Man of Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then,
like
the title of my game would be Smallville, Last Son of Krypton. And so this is a game like Smallville, right? Smallville is a Superman story without Superman.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a Superman game without Superman, where the premise of the game is you are younger Clark Kent discovering your powers as you go through the game, and part of the challenge of the game is finding that you have the power but controlling that power, making sure that you don't let it get out of control. And that, so like again, we can talk about your eye beams, whatever Superman's eyes do, right? Where he can burn things.
Heat vision.
Heat vision. Yeah, that's what it's called. Eye things. But that could be your analog sticks, right? You've got to tune it with your analog sticks, and if you don't get it, perfectly correct, your heat vision goes crazy, right? Like you go full Cyclops.
Cross-eyed.
And you wind up burning things down and can create fail states for yourself.
Cyclops doesn't use heat; he uses force.
Yes, but it's the optics.
I know.
Yeah. So push up your glasses. One of my favorite scenes from Smallville. I know Mike somewhere dying and loving this moment, but one of my favorite scenes from Smallville is a scene where Clark has tried out for the football team and he becomes the quarterback, and his dad is vehemently against Clark being playing football because he's worried that Clark will lose control and injure someone just because he is so powerful. And Clark turns to his dad and he says, "Dad, I do this every day. Every single interaction that I have to control myself. Every handshake, every sneeze, every cough, everything that I do, I have to control." And that's a part of being Clark Kent. That's a part of specifically being Clark Kent, and not necessarily even Superman, but Superman also, that we don't really explore. Is this person is incredibly powerful, and so most of his life is him trying to not be powerful, right? Like, as opposed to being indestructible. And so that's going to be the challenge in this game, and that's a different way to approach the whole Superman dilemma. The whole dilemma with Superman in video games is he's invulnerable, he's all powerful, and the way you combat that is by saying yes, he is. And now it's your job to make sure that he's not that way, so that humans can survive around him.
Okay, Sean, one closing salvo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is kind of opening up for Cicero to close it, but in what ways are we going to mechanize Superman having to hold back on their consequences of it not being? Because the main activity, like, you know me, I know a lot of I play many video games where, like, violence isn't the main mode of activity with it, but those within the scope are very few and far between, especially within the genre that we're talking about. How would you're also not a Vev, so you don't know this, but what angle would they go for to actually try to loop that in without expanding to, like, a bunch of different, like, fail safes and stuff? Or maybe that's it. I don't know. How are you imagining them actually accomplishing that kind of story?
Well, so I mean, so we would do Smallville stuff, right? So we'd have the monster of the week, right? Whoever it is, they would do nefarious things around Smallville or in the area, wherever, you know, maybe Metropolis, and it's Clark's job to save the civilians, right, using the powers that he has at his disposal, and then go off and have to capture whoever the monster of the week is. By the time we get to the end of the game, he will be facing off against someone from Superman's rogues gallery, where he can, or you as the player, can now take advantage of all of the powers that you've accumulated throughout the course of the game, and you can unleash it. There's a great line from, I think it's Justice League Unlimited. There's a two-parter at the end. Superman is fighting Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is trying to beat him. He's beating him down. He's monologuing, and Superman finally stops, and he's like, "You don't understand what it's like to be me. I live in a world of tissue paper, but finally, right? And even the villains I fight, I have to hold back. But finally, I've met someone where I don't have to hold back." And he beats the brakes off of Apocalypse. It's amazing. But that is the power fantasy, right? That's what you want when you get a Superman game, and that's what you'll get at the end of this game. Is now you've gotten all of those powers and you've learned how to use them and control them. Now unleash them.
See, the thing with this is, when you end your game with something like that, the message you teach is that you like that, the rush that you get at the end, that release you get at the end, like, you're teaching, like, yeah, that's what you're here to do. That's what you go to Superman for. And that's not what you go to Superman for. You don't go there for the power, for that specific type of violent power fantasy, which is what we avoid with what my narrative would be.
Right. But you've spent the entire game learning the control.
But you remember the things beginning and end of a story.
But now you know. So, but that's not true, right? That's not true. You sit and you train your body, your machine for lots of different things, whether it's playing basketball, any of those things, right? Like, if you run track, right? If you run track, and you could be a sprinter, but you've got to run a distance. So you don't unleash all of your energy all at once. Now, you've trained sprinting, you've done all that stuff, but now you've learned the control, right? You've learned how to use all of the weapons in your arsenal. And now when the need is great, you learn that, I have control when I need it, right? For the rest of the world, because I need to exhibit that level of control for them. But also now for them, I must unleash everything because the need is great enough that I can just let it all go. And then once the need is gone, I bring it all back in because I have to exist amongst them.
All right, I think I'm going to call it. You both lose because the correct answer was Superman 64 remakes. But no, I like the direction that Sean is going in this. I do like being disassociated with Superman, but still having him in a game present. Even though, oh God, I don't know, because Smallville is okay. So, Sean, you said that it's a power struggle. It's a power struggle, right? It's you don't want the violence to be the key feature, but it's not in Cicero's game. It's not. He said it's about controlling your power so you don't harm people and you save people correctly. But I do think that teaching people that doing that through the entire game might be a bad thing, because you're not getting the end result. You're not getting to be Superman. Maybe for one fight at the end. Oh God, it's so hard.
Well, yeah, but yeah. So the argument, I mean, you're adjudicated.
And Sean mentioned a game where you're a reporter before, I think, on a different podcast, that you're reporting events of war or something.
Sean likes a lot of reporters. I don't, he's got.
Hey,
Edward R.
you could
Murrow
literally be Lois Lane in this. He didn't say it, but you could be Lois Lane in this. Gosh. I think I got to give it to Sean.
All right.
Sadly, because I think the monster of the week thing messed your argument up, Cicero.
Okay.
I think that it would turn into a service game at that point. I think if it was a standalone experience, that would be fine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying, like the
like chapters probably, yeah,
right, yeah. So it would be a mostly linear story with there would be characters that they would find, you pull from.
Sean, you're not supposed to fight for Cicero's argument.
Look, I already won.
You already won.
I already won.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
But yeah, yeah. So
as much as I love that telltale sense of Superman, that would be awesome to experience in Smallville.
Yeah.
But also the other side of the coin with the reporter, that sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome. Personally, I think Sean should have won. I like Sean's argument for the first fight better than mine, and I like my argument better than Sean's in the second fight. So everything is balanced in the force.
That's all topsy-turvy, yeah. Look, I also liked your pitch here. I recently watched Millennium Actress and I loved it. And I matched with Superman Mary and I was like, I gotta fight for this, no matter if I'm making false equivalencies about the ending of stuff, but whatever.
It's so unique, it might just work, and it's something that they could test out Superman in and then see how it goes, I'm sure it'll do good. All right, on to the next question. Breath of the Wild 2 rumors claim that it's going to be too big for our current Switch systems. So, should Nintendo release a Switch Pro before larger titles start to release? Yes or no? And it's to Cicero first this time.
So should they release? Yes, they should release a newer, more powerful console. That console's been out for 6 years. So it's time for how long has it been since
I believe that's right.
Release?
I believe 6 is correct.
Yeah, so it's time for a new console. Released in 2017, so it's been 5 years. But in 5 years, from the last generation, we got the 0.5 versions of the Xbox and the PS5 and the PS4. So maybe it is time for a Switch Pro or a Switch Plus or I don't know. A Switch S, and because it's already obsolete. So the OLED is nice. It's got great features, but it's time to go a step further even. And they know, based on the way the OLED is sold, the way the Switch is sold, that they won't have any problem selling the console.
Okay. Well, a new title should be Super Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
But go ahead, Sean. Why should they not create a Super Nintendo Switch?
That's because Nintendo and Walter White both know one thing to be true. No half measures. You wait to release a console until you have a new, fresh console out there. But furthermore, I think just beyond, as if we need to beyond more just the principle of the matter, Nintendo's very principled. But beyond that, I think this is a good opportunity where games are getting maybe too big to fit on the console to kind of give people a check on buying everything digitally. Come back. There's a time to sometimes get things physically. Breath of the Wild 2 is a time to do that and reevaluate our relationship with media.
Okay. The Super Nintendo Switch would have sliding Joy-Cons or magnetized ones to go with Walter White.
They would be magnetized Joy-Cons.
Okay, my idea.
And they would completely ruin the motherboard underneath. With these magnets. 100% is what they'll do. They will add Bluetooth, but
you mean start with it or add it later?
They will. Oh no, I think Bluetooth will be included, but it'll be antiquated Bluetooth, and the USB C charger will not be the fastest USB C charger. So you won't be able to fast charge it. It's a thing. There will be instead of the stand, it'll be just an HDMI port on the console, so you won't just be able to dock it. They'll have a holster that you put it in or something. Everything is going to be messed up, but it'll still sell incredibly well. What I don't believe is that we can stand for just some half measures. We've gotta go out and get the pros. The Super Nintendo Switch is in the building, and we're not going to, as Sean said, give away money to print up little plastic cases when I could just give you access to my server for no dollars and get all the profit. So that's what we're like. Plastic cases are fine, but I prefer you to do digital because digital gives me more money as Nintendo. So I'm going to disassociate you from your media, from your physical media. Tell you it's bad. It is negatively impacting the environment.
And okay, so back to the question: why are they not creating a Nintendo Switch Pro or a Super Nintendo Switch? Sean, why are they not?
It's a Super Nintendo Switch Pro.
Oh, okay.
Super Nintendo Switch Pro. It's
Super Nintendo Switch Pro. Come on.
Magnets not included?
Keep up.
Included.
Yes.
Included.
Yes.
Okay.
Included. Must have. I mean, here's the thing. Making all those consoles and selling a bunch of them is going to be much worse for the environment than the little chips.
Well, they're going to be doing that anyway. So I mean that.
But it's an extra phase. It's an extra phase. Yeah, but that's an extra phase. They're having a half, and then they're having the Switch 2 or whatever that's inevitably going to come out. One, that's happening. Two, just focus all the resources in the actual next gen at this point. Come up with the new thing, and
who's to
to
say that the Super Nintendo Switch isn't the new thing?
It could be the Switch 2.
Right. It could be the Switch 2 could just be called the Super Nintendo Switch Plus Pro, right? Pro Plus with magnets, right? So we could that could just be what it's called, and it could seem like it's a half step incrementally on the technological side, but it's also because Nintendo does things the way that Nintendo does things is so outside of the box, outside of the norm, and that the games or the consoles themselves are built specifically to run Nintendo hardware or Nintendo software. What may not seem like a giant technological leap forward in specs could be a big leap forward for the software because of the way that Nintendo optimizes their games for their consoles. So the Super Nintendo Switch Plus Pro magnetized Armageddon style is it's gonna be Peter Lucas sauce.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add, Sean, or that's it?
I don't think we need to release the point of this was, do we need a new console to address memory issue sizes, like game sizes? And I still think that's not the case, especially because Nintendo could go back to their roots vaguely. They're like 2000s roots, and do what they did with Gold and Silver and just find extra space on the disc, just make it work. Or the cartridge. It was a cartridge then and now. I don't know why I said disc.
Yes.
But you just find more space on the cartridge.
Yeah, the Wii. Well, yeah.
Well, we're talking Gold Silver,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that was yeah.
Those are cards.
No, like Game Boy.
Oh,
Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color. Right. Yeah, because they fit that whole. They fit Johto and Kanto. They just found the space.
There you go.
They made it work. They can do it again. They're smart.
What do you think the price point of this Armageddon magnetized?
Magnetized Armageddon
Switch Pro Plus.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, my guess will be that it will be $399.
Okay, $100 more.
Yeah, $399. With a 3-month subscription to Nintendo Online. Nintendo Pass
With N64 or without?
Without, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna call it. I do think they need one, but I don't think they should. I think they should wait. So I'm gonna go with Sean on this one. I think that the Switch OLED it would be a half step, if anything, to add the 4K. That would literally be the difference. And well, the magnets would sell me, but I don't think they're going to put magnets in it. So that's one for Sean. On to the blind fight.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys ready? Because I picked this question myself. Because I remember an old debate I had about the Outer Wilds, and I realized I've never gotten Sean back for that. So,
but get me back. What?
So Sean, you're gonna get to pick second on this because you won the last one. The question is, now both of these I love dearly, so good luck. Which is better, Guitar Hero or Rock Band? And Cicero, you get to pick first.
And this is just a blind fight. There's no quick attacks.
We have plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Oh man.
So I want full specs and conversations about what the story is and.
Once upon a time. All right.
Which one you picking?
Once upon a time, there was a series called Guitar Hero, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It was made by Harmonix, published by Activision, and Activision said, "Hey, Harmonix, make us another Guitar Hero, and make us another, and Harmonix was like, no, but we want to do. There's some other things that we think we can do with this." And Activision said, "No, that makes me money. Do the same thing, make me more money." And Harmonix said, "No, thank you. We're gonna do our own thing." And they did, and they created Rock Band. And that is, and they just continued to innovate. So not only did you get your guitar, and you could have your bass like Guitar Hero, but then you got your drums, right? And the drums were good. Then they kept it going. They even brought in keys. And they kept it going even further. Not only could you sing, but you could duet. You could get 6 people. Almost 6 people. Yeah, you could get 6 people playing the game. Or actually 5. because the person playing the keys would have to sing as well, or somebody would have to sing. So, but yeah, well, I guess you could get 6 people to play. We could do it that way, and that's not something that Guitar Hero could just do. More people, more fun, better parties. Rock Band. What a tagline.
All right. Sean, you've got Guitar Hero on your side. Why is Guitar Hero better than Rock Band? Shout out to Mike for lending me Guitar Hero 2 on the Xbox 360.
Nice.
Okay. So Guitar Hero is better for 2 reasons. One, it has a focus on it of being a specific type of person and striving to be that. You are the guitar person. You are the hero of guitars, and you are going to revive the genre with a better music selection of all things between the 2 games. And there is the party style of Rock Band was great with adding more people, but how often in these parties do you actually get a full crew of everybody coming together? Not very often do you get the full set. As opposed to that, Guitar Heroes 1 and 2 have the dueling of the guitars, that has a competition that, made half my like really strong bonds in high school, including my girlfriend. We like met being idiots to each other, trying to top each other's scores. And with Rock Band, you just don't get stuff like that. You get the community, and I love community,
right?
But in the party atmosphere, often, or in like the arcade atmosphere, often the head-to-head gets the energy going more than having like 3 people having the whole set out, taking the time to put all the instruments out, and then only having people pick up like 3 and reluctantly picking up the 4th one sometimes, and then like, that 5th and 6th instrument are just kind of over there taking up space that people could be, getting close to the screen or like dancing or whatever. It's concise, it's fit, and the competition's a selling point.
All right, Cicero, activate the star power.
Yeah, so one thing that's great, and I mean, Sharon, you kind of made my argument for me, right? Like, one thing that's great is getting people together. Some of those people never having played a rhythm game, right? Maybe not gamers, never having played a rhythm game, but have heard songs before, and then they can pick up a microphone and they can sing that song. They are now playing the game. And that happens as a result of Rock Band. Also, there's a legendary rock band. It came over from Liverpool, England, and invaded our shores. And, it felt like yesterday. I'm going to let it be. Right? But I will also say that the Beatles, one of the greatest rock bands of all time, one of the seminal rock bands of all time, can only be played. Their catalog can only be played in Rock Band. Beatles. With those instruments, singing those songs, playing those keys, being George Harrison.
All right, Sean, over there you've got Van Halen, you got Metallica, you've got Aerosmith, you've got a couple knockoffs as well. Cicero also has Lego Rock Band, which is the thing.
That is correct.
I didn't even know about that. That's wild.
Oh, it was great.
Wild,
it was great.
Did you like? Oh, man.
Oh, well, yeah. There's a lot of good songs with Lego things happening.
Yeah.
Had many nights playing.
The Beatles, they're doing great. That even kind of appeals to I know this is a wrong I'm wrong here. I know I'm wrong here. But I prefer Beatles covers like almost 100% of the time. And Rock Band actually kind of covers that with your argument there. So I am apt to that. But Through the Fire and Flames is Guitar Hero only. And also modding in the Power Rangers theme song, like those two things alone, like Beatles are great, but as like a party and video game experience, Power Rangers theme song and Through the Fire and Flames, highest tier there is.
Cicero, final salvo.
All right. Well, so in summation, what I'll say is that Guitar Hero was great for innovating. For inventing the genre essentially that we knew and loved, but it's harmonics that should get all the credit, and they moved from Guitar Hero to Rock Band, and that's where you saw the innovation come in, and all Activision could do was react, and it was always harmonics that was leading from the front, doing all of the great things that you wanted to have happen. And when there was parity between the two games, when your friends got together, the game that they wanted to pop into their 360 was Rock Band and not Guitar Hero, because Rock Band had more music, better music, and more interaction for more people all of the time.
And Sean, go with the final salvo as well.
I'm remembering the couple times I went to Justin's abode, and I remember Guitar Hero getting slotted in more than Rock Band. So I don't know if your statistics add up, man.
I think that sample size is a small sample size.
Perhaps.
But hey, you know what? It takes all kinds, right? Maybe yours was the exception that proves my rule.
All right. I am going to have to give it to Cicero on this one. Rock Band won flat out. I did start with Activision and Guitar Hero, like I said, but Rock Band has held strong in my life. It's more about the community for me. Playing Guitar Hero, I played very well, and playing against other people that weren't very well was not a fun experience. So rather playing as a team worked out better for me. That's just my opinion. Good fights. All right, that leaves it at a tie game. So we're going to do our Metacritic score. Maybe Sean can win this one.
All right, here we go.
The game of preference is a game that was made by Activision, but not made in the Guitar Hero franchise. This is DJ Hero 2, which used a different peripheral.
Yes,
and we're talking for the Xbox 360. I had all of the music rhythm games that came out by them.
This is DJ Hero 2 you're talking about.
Yes, this is
not the first one.
Yes, this is DJ Yoda and all the goodies.
Right.
And Sean, go ahead. Unless you want to pass it to Cicero, it's up to you.
What? Oh no, we're just giving our numbers, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So So for listeners that are unfamiliar with our tiebreak rules, it is kind of Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Closest person without going over. I guess if we both go over, then the person who is closest wins.
Yes.
I think we both just lose. I don't know.
Right. Well.
Yeah. Then the judge wins. It's out of 100. It's the Metacritic score of DJ Hero 2 on the Xbox 360. And are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Sean, go ahead.
74.
Okay.
78.
Always.
Yeah.
The score on Metacritic for the Xbox 360 version of DJ Hero 2 is 86. Unfortunately,
What?
has failed you again,
What?
Sean.
Wow.
Cicero, you're closer with 78.
Yeah, I figured it'd be higher.
4 difference.
Wow,
86 on Metacritic.
I am surprised it's that
I still
high.
have my turntable, and I will gladly pick it up and play again.
Oh man, yeah, that was a fun game. That game, my partner and I played that game on our first date.
I remember going to Best Buy to try it out before it released, and
Yes.
I was beating on that big screen.
Oh yeah, nice.
It
Yeah,
was a
that
good
was a
game.
cool. That was a cool game. That was a cool game.
Also, Through the Fire and Flames was released on Rock Band 3 for DLC. Rock Band is the second most spent money game in my life.
Yeah.
A lot of DLC.
What is the first?
That would be Apex.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
All right.
So do you
Yeah,
build the instruments in like a Rock Band?
No.
Lame. What's the
all the
point? All right, I'm over it. I'm over it. Bye. I'm just kidding.
No, the Rock Band like feed that comes towards you now. You have the colored buttons. For Rock Band, it's rectangles instead of circles, and they are studs that are
That's the
colored
studs.
bricks.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. But
Give me the
animation-
Nintendo Labo of Rock Band, please.
There you go. Oh, I love it.
All right, we're going on to our leaderboard, which today it's going to be top games that need remakes, not remasters, remakes in Unreal Engine 5. Let's go over to Cicero first. What do you got?
So the first game I'm gonna pick is Metal Gear Solid, the original.
Okay.
The next
Like
game,
PS1?
Yeah, PS1.
Okay.
The next game that I'm gonna pick is Uncharted, the original. And I'm gonna go with Gears of War.
Like the original Gears of War?
Original Gears of War. I'm going originals all the way.
I remember playing that for the first time on 360 and thinking it looked amazing. We'll shoot over to Sean next. Go ahead. What do you got? 3 games that need remakes.
Yeah. Batman Arkham Asylum,
Okay.
Good one.
DC Universe Online.
You did say Asylum, correct?
I did say Asylum, yes.
Okay. And then you said DC.
DC Universe Online. The MOBA. Not the MOBA, the MMO.
MMO.
And then Red Steel.
Ooh,
The Wii game.
You.
wow.
Okay.
That's a good one. It actually made me think of some other games that it could have.
I have the original BioShock. I want to see that remastered in good glory. Then I've got Silent Hill 1 or 2, the original ones. I just want a Silent Hill game. Unreal Engine 5 would make it even better. And then
Just hard disagree.
really,
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later, unless you pick it as your must.
oh, I will then. Thank you for that.
Oh wow. Scared of the criticism. I'm just kidding.
And I want Lego Lord of the Rings. For the love of God, please. No.
Wow.
No, I'm not picking it. No. Superman 64.
In Unreal 5. Okay, so that basically that game that you sent us that trailer. Okay, perfect. Okay.
It's making the list. Which one should I have a must-have? Cicero, go ahead.
My must-have of those. Oh man. I'm gonna go Gears
Okay.
as my must-have.
All right, and Sean.
DC Universe Online.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
DC, oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Why? All right.
Look,
Should
Yeah,
I
good
just
things
go
were
with
happening in that.
Should I just go
They
with
need
the
a second swing.
curveball for listeners and viewers? I'm highlighting on our document Superman 64. No, I'm going with Silent Hill. All right.
Coward.
What else we got here? All right, so I can fight for Superman. We need a good Superman game. Number 1 and number 2. No, I'm not doing that. BioShock. BioShock is a game that should be remade on Unreal Engine 5. The aesthetic, the atmosphere, everything would benefit with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, the lighting would be great.
The water trickling in through the
right,
glass
yeah.
next to you.
It's So for those same reasons, I agree with you on BioShock. For those same reasons, I think Arkham Asylum should also be on the list.
But what about Superman?
What about
Well,
him? We don't need any. We don't need any more Superman.
That Superman 64 was a dumpster fire, right? It is irredeemable.
Yeah, make one of our games instead.
Right. I appreciate the fact that you're trying to cape for Superman, pun intended. But man, oh man, that was
He's on Unreal already. He's in the Mortal Kombat games or whatever. You know, he's in the Infamous games. Not Infamous,
game,
whatever. Injustice.
That game was unreal. Superman 64.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it's real. So yeah.
Well, I do want to say DC Universe Online was the must-have, which does have Superman in it. So I guess I can let that slide.
That is true.
All right, so
You can't play Superman though.
But what about
Definitively.
Metal Gear Solid? Like getting the original Metal Gear in Unreal Engine 5, you think it would still work the same?
I think it will. I think it would.
No.
But you know, so the thing about MGS is that most of the game is kind of top down.
Yeah.
So like, while it will look better, and it will run smoother, and you'll get good lighting effects, I don't know that it necessarily will benefit in the same ways that a game like the Uncharted series or but more specifically, like if I'm going to you know, run something up my flagpole, it's gonna be Batman Arkham Asylum. I kind of have to stand for that. Like that's a brilliant thought right there.
Yeah.
I think that game, using the lighting, I think BioShock the same thing, right? Like using, you know, being able to utilize lighting and being able to utilize like all of the particle effects and all of that other stuff will lend itself perfectly to both of those titles. So I think they should be on the list.
Sean,
I
tell me
think-
about Red Steel a little bit. I've
Yeah.
never played it, so let me know what that is about.
Apparently, because you did the verb and not the metal. I mean, here's the thing. Unreal Engine 5 needs a great motion controls game. That's really what this is about. And Red Steel's it. It's already. I'm pretty sure it was already Unreal like 2 or 3 or whatever it was on the Wii.
So you're gonna use the Switch for this, I'm guessing.
Yeah. But I mean, also at this point, there's other motion controls available, so you can make a multi-platform. I don't know, man.
Like
You
Oculus?
can VR it.
Yeah,
VR.
you can VR it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine for that. I've definitely played VR and played Red Steel. I could definitely combine this together.
Yeah.
Would you rather have BioShock and Batman?
Out of my list, I would swing towards Batman. BioShock, I thought about it myself, but I would have said 2 just because 2 is doing stuff. In addition to just the visuals that's happening, and we don't need to go over, like, it also avoids the whole like BioShock conversation, honestly, that I don't want to have to live through again.
I don't know. It's something about first, like the plane crash could look better, of course, but when you first see Rapture and you're going down in the bubble and you see the city unfold and the creatures in the water,
Right.
I think with that Unreal that would look just wow.
Yeah, but what if you could be actually in the water like those creatures? That's what you do in 2. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But BioShock 2 is not on
It's on the list.
damn it.
I know it's on the list.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to BioShock.
I'm with it.
Yeah, BioShock's good. BioShock's good.
BioShock.
All right, so that rounds our list out then. In no particular order, the top games that need remakes in Unreal Engine 5, we have Gears of War, DC Universe Online, Silent Hill, Batman Arkham Asylum, and then BioShock. And an honorable mention to Superman 64. We are all set. That is our episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the laughs and humor.
Somebody save me.
Mama. Oh man.
My bike, fool. Yeah, time to go.
My chain.
Rest
my
in
drink?
peace, Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are we out of